Aditya Agarwal, Head Technicals, Way to Wealth, is now joining us on a phone line. Aditya, what's your view on the expiry? Where do you see Nifty expiring, 7,900 or 8,000?
Well, I think we may see some minor pullback in tomorrow's session, and Nifty may test 7940, 7960 levels. So we are expecting that Nifty will see a pullback, and today's correction can be used to initiate long positions with a stop loss of 7880. If we see option data, then that's also indicate the same thing. We are not expecting that Nifty is going to break 8,000 level, at least in tomorrow's session, as we have seen a heavy call lighting at that level. So that will continue to be a very strong supply zone for Nifty. And on a lower side, if you see then the put writing at 7900, 7850 levels, that will continue to be a very strong support area. So overall market is still in range bound, but yes, today's correction can be used to initiate long positions with a stop loss of 7880. On higher side, one can expect 7940, 7960 by tomorrow.
Right. How would you look at the volumes that have been there today? Most of the rollovers have picked up. You think majority of rollovers have happened and volumes may not pick up today and tomorrow?
Well, yes, definitely this time we have seen that rollovers have picked up a little bit early, but I think it still means that today we have seen almost 50 to 55, 60% rollover taking place across, that is market-wide rollover. So still there is some 15-20% rollover which is still pending, and that we will see tomorrow. So I think we will see market will remain dull to little bit bullish tomorrow, but with little bit of less trading volume, but more of rollovers volume.
Right. As far as any names to focus on, any view on Kaveri Seeds? As we are talking, it's at the day's low, down 7%.
Well, if we see Kaveri Seed, then this stock is continuously in downtrend, and any pullback in discount is being utilized to make short positions. So overall, stock is still looking weak, and we expecting that this stock will continue to correct, and on lower side can test 300 to 290 levels. If we see on the rollovers front also, till yesterday we have seen rollovers of 30%, and today we have again seen 20-25% positions getting rolled over. So still a lot of positions are still there to getting rolled over in this counter. But trend is weak, and any bounce back in KSCL, Kaveri Seeds should be utilized to exit from long position and initiate fresh short positions.
Right, but do you think there is still a lot of downside from here on, or you think short position should only be rolled over after decent amount of upside?
Well, this is about KSCL or Nifty?
Kaveri Seeds.
Kaveri Seeds. Well, we see Kaveri stock is still looking weak, and I think still if someone is not having any short position, they can still go short with a target of 285. Trend is definitely weak. Stock has already given a breakdown below its crucial support of 400, and after that for this whole month we are continuously seeing that this stock is under bearish pressure, and we are continuously seeing some short positions getting built up in the counter, and the same same is getting rolled over. So another 10 to 15% correction is on card, and stock can test 280, 290 levels. So with a stop loss of 365, one can go short. I would recommend to short on any pullback. If stock comes around 335, 340, that will be a good level where risk reward will be in favor. So with a stop loss of 360, one can go short, keeping a target of 290 and 285.
Right. Just a word again, the point that you made about how many rolls have already happened, 25%, so still a lot remaining?
No, see, in Kaveri Seeds till yesterday, 25% rollovers were there, and today again we have seen some 20-25% positions getting rolled over. So approximately in this counter we have seen 50-55% positions getting rolled over. So still there are a lot of positions which are still to be rolled over, and tomorrow we will see some high rollover in this counter.
Right. So at least for this expiry, one should avoid this name, and then probably once we see a bounce back and stability, you would advise to sell.
Well, definitely. There is no point in buying this counter as of now. Stock is looking extremely weak. Any pullback is there, it should be used to initiate short positions only. And long positions should be definitely avoided as of now in this counter.
You want PNB 117, again one of the lowest Nifty 50 name?
Well, if we see PSU banks overall, then PSU banks we are seeing some short positions getting rolled over, and overall trend for the PSU banks is still weak. Comparatively, private sector banks are looking better. Similar, if we see PNB, then PNB has given a breakdown below its crucial support of 118, 120, and we expecting the stock will continue to slide on lower side, and on lower side can test 112 to 110. So in PNB also, one should avoid making any long positions, and any pullback, it should be used to exit from the long position and get initiating short positions.
Right, but PNB at 118, do you think other PSU banks now valuation-wise are looking much expensive than PNB? So maybe there could be some selling pressure in other large-cap PSP banks as well?
Well, if you see all the PSU banks, then they have corrected the same way, and most of these stock PSU banks are giving a breakdown on lower side. So most of, if we see any PSU bank like Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda, PNB, or SBI, all the stocks are looking weak on charts, and in all these counters we are witnessing some short position getting rolled over. So as of now, I would advise to shift from PSU banks to private sector banks, stocks like IndusInd Bank, Kotak Bank, Axis Bank, and even ICICI Bank. These are looking better, and we think that in January series private sector banks will outperform PSU banks in a big way, and PSU banks will continue to be laggards. So as of now, it's better to exit from the PSU banks for trading perspective and shift to private sector banks.
Right. Just a word as far as, names like Infosys, TCS are concerned. In this series, the focus would start with them because results would be coming out in 10-15 days.
Yeah, means if we see technology counters, we have seen a good pullback from lower levels. Stocks are facing little bit resistance. If we see Infosys 1100, 1110 is a resistance level, and from those levels we have seen some minor profit booking into this session. But overall trend for the stocks are looking good, and we are expecting that the bounce back may continue. And on lowest and on higher side, if Infosys breaks 1110, then the stock may test 1140, 1150 levels. And similarly, we see TCS also. Then stock is from these levels, stock. Both all these counters like Wipro, Infosys, TCS, HCL Tech, all these stocks are looking good for January series, and we're expecting that pullback may continue after the small correction which we have seen today. So one can initiate long positions. In fact, if we see rollover sides also, then we have seen some long positions getting rolled over in all the IT stocks. So as of now, if you see, then in technology counters are looking good, and this correction can be used to initiate long positions in IT counters.
Aditya, thank you so much for taking out time for us. A pleasure talking to you.